I'm Tracy.
And I'm Andy. And this week was a roller coaster of an episode, so let's just jump in.
We got to get right to it, and you know who we need. Miss New Jersey himself.
Get in here! Yay!
I feel like you could be Miss New Jersey.
Could be. How about he is?
Look at him.
There
Also,
you
why are
go.
you
Why am
wearing...
I acting like a prize
New
model?
Jersey.
I brought my fantasy
Is this your
closet
evening
robe.
wear?
It suits
It
you.
is. I took it right from Demi.
You're
Oh
so
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you feeling comfortable?
She said, if you want to be inappropriate in front of like 25 strangers that you don't know, you should wear a robe.
And,
So here we
and
are.
there you are.
Being uncomfortable in front of you two. a little shimmy.
Eric's here.
There
Yeah.
he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this episode. One moment that I really liked, which maybe this is jumping ahead.
Oh, the
but
turkey leg?
No.
That was
But I
amazing.
felt like we had a really good moment where Colton kind of walked off stage and went behind the scenes and was talking to his producer.
I always love when you get to see behind the scenes
Oh my
with the
gosh,
producer.
and I
It
just
makes me
felt-
happy every time.
And it felt like I was seeing like a genuine, like he's such a smiley, like
Yeah.
he's a really good conversationalist.
Yeah.
And then to see how that this was actually like
Breaking
taking
the
a
wall
toll
was
on
pretty
him.
cool.
Yeah,
I really
always
like
enjoy
that.
that. Well, because you see them really conflicted.
It makes them
Right.
seem
And
real.
And it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't
Makes
feel
them-
like it's forced
Right.
conflict. They really have.
They're letting you on the inside.
Yeah.
The first group date was.
Was rated R.
Oh,
Sorry, I had to do it. I had to do
Oh,
it.
you're off the hook.
Oh, see, thank you. The only one
I
with
think we
great
just got
jokes.
canceled.
So anyway, so they go, and they do this, you know, interacting, and they're learning how to do these pirate skills like American
wait,
Gladiator
jousting?
style
Jousting,
jousting.
the best is-
So
Of course.
Hannah keeps winning. They're making it seem like Hannah B is going to be the big winner of the thing, and
Yeah.
literally all she has to do is go, boom, and the other girl
Oh!
falls, and they're just like down. And I'm just like, and she's like,
But
yeah,
then the best is, we do that again?
yeah.
Okay.
We see Tracy, my girl, knock one person down, and we're like, oh, she won. And then Hannah B is like, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, the final two are Tracy and Kaylin.
It was so weird.
So weird,
I
but
just
it-
assumed it was going to be the two of them because they're obviously pitting them against each other.
Right, which I'm really enjoying. Okay,
Yeah,
so
well, I have
anyway,
questions for you about that later.
Kaylin knocks Tracy up, and then she climbs up the
Yeah.
thing, and Colton's like,
His line.
save me.
No, no,
Save
he-
me.
no.
Are
he goes,
you going
Are
to
you
save?
going
Yeah.
to save me?
And
I
she's
was
like,
oh,
yes, and then she has
God.
to untie his whatever arm thing, and then they
Yeah,
they
there's
have like
not
an awkward
Emmy in
kiss.
his future.
No.
Yeah.
But my favorite was when Kaylin and he had that kiss, they of course cut to Hannah B, who's just like,
They are
Ugh.
really, really making that.
Here's
like,
the thing I have to ask, because I'm just going to ask it right
okay,
now.
go ahead.
Kaylin, Hannah B.
Yeah.
Which one do we think is right?
Okay, first of all, it's like the kiss of death to like go early on in
And
the
waste
day
your day
and waste
talking
your
about
time.
someone else.
Right.
Yes.
It's just
it's always
have
kiss
you
of death.
It never
Every
ends
time.
well. It
No,
never ends well.
Don't you wonder, like, if I'm Hannah B, well, but like, don't you think you must have been a fan of the show at some point?
Everyone has watched the show.
So
Every single
why do you
person has
think?
watched the
I
show.
know it doesn't
never
normally
works
work,
well.
Yeah.
but this time it's gonna work.
I think that she was trying to get ahead of it because I think that she thought
yeah.
that Kaylin would do the same thing to her, so she
Okay.
was trying to beat her to the punch.
He gives Kaylin the rose, which was to me a very much like I believe you.
Team
Yeah,
Kaylin.
oh, for sure.
Side note,
Yeah.
I saw online that Hannah G also was in the pageant circuit.
Ooh.
So that might be a seed for down the line.
Comment below and let us know if you're Team Kaylin or Team Hannah B.
Hannah B.
Somebody will read
We'll
them.
count the votes.
We just confirmed.
It's
it
gonna
turns
play out.
out that
It's gonna play
Hannah
out, I
G
bet ya.
and Hannah B have competed against each other.
Not just the same name, but they have competed against
I love
each
our
other.
conspiracy theory expert that we now have in the cubicle.
Yeah.
I go deep on the dark web.
Well, you do love the Miss America pageant. Let's move on to
Yes.
the
Pageants
one-on-one
for
date.
life.
Yes,
Okay, and I just want to bring up again how the first episode, you knew I was going to bring it up.
I know.
I-
By the way, here's the thing.
we
We
talking
were
about?
watching, so we were watching it live, and the whole thing I kept thinking about, and I didn't want to say anything while we were watching, was
You liked her.
Tracy's right.
Yeah, he takes
Back to
Elise out on the one-on-one date. As
Yes.
a reminder, Elise is a beautiful redhead.
And 31.
31
Oh
years
my
old. She's in the
gosh.
Cougar Club,
She's someone who just being in the helicopter seemed like if that was the date.
Yes.
With him.
which often it is, by the way.
She's real.
But like if that's all it was.
There was a moment in the helicopter where she turned and looked at him.
Yeah.
And the way she looked at him, I was like, my heart
She's
like
real
was
and
happy.
endearing.
Yeah.
Like she was so
I
just
think
like
she
genuinely
goes
likes
far.
him.
I don't think she wins.
No, I agree.
But I think she goes far.
And
in
I
the
They
run.
really,
definitely
I
connected
really
on
liked
another
her.
level.
She's a
on this
hometown
date.
date kind of contestant.
Totally, and she's sweet.
Yeah.
And oh my God, you guys!
She
and
flew
this
to-
story about her sister.
I know.
Oh, God.
I know.
I literally
Talk about a
the whole time she
story.
was talking, I was just like, no, don't let this end how I think it's gonna end. Like,
I
no. So
know.
basically, she tells the story, just to recap, you watched it, but just as a recap, she tells the story about her sister who got pregnant, and then during the pregnancy, like, got this like tumor. Oh my God! And then she cared. They just only cared about the baby, and then the baby was born healthy, and then she passed away. Like literally, just talking about it right now.
Yeah, it's really upsetting.
It's like unbelievable.
But she spoke about it in a really articulate, kind of controlled way.
And you could tell Colton was like really impacted by
Yeah.
it. He obviously gives her the rose. Like, how could you not? They kiss, and then you saw her a few seasons before. Who did they get? Tennille Arts.
How do they find these talented
people? As soon as Tennille Arts showed up, I thought about you.
They're sitting there at the table, and I was like, wait, there's no performance?
Although, by the way, I totally Shazam that song and have it on my phone.
Oh, it was a good song. It was a really good song. All right, so then we go to the second group date, and this was a workout.
The first thing you saw was him whipping the ropes and shirtless.
And also like with one arm, and he was like, and it was really hot with his body.
I mean, I didn't hate it.
No, it was actually like, it was.
That was hot.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have a little cameo from Terry Crews and his
wife.
wife.
His wife.
How sweet are they?
They are ripped.
They tell them they're going to compete in Bachelor's Strongest Woman.
Which to me sounds the most awful group date ever.
And by the way,
what were the
looked like it. Okay, so they did the 100-pound cake push, they did the ring top, and then the limo
pull.
Which,
not happening.
No. By the way, I think that the limo is already kind of rolling, and then they just
No, there's a dude sitting in it on the gas.
Like this. I mean, there's just no way.
Put it in drive.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so then the final three are Catherine, Sydney, who Sydney we had on the show was in good shape.
Yeah,
the fitness instructor.
Yes, exactly.
And then Onyeka.
Wow.
So anyway, Onyeka ends up winning. She like, I like how she's like explaining it, and she's like, and then I realized I was way ahead of them. And then she puts the medicine ball in the thing, and she wins.
By what
great.
felt like a mile. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, she killed it.
So so she wins the trophy and all is well, and then they have their cocktail party. Okay, but something that happened at the cocktail party that was surprising.
Yeah.
So poor Caitlin, from Toronto, she's a perfect example of someone who just was like, there's no depth to me because nothing bad's ever happened to me. It's like, that's not what depth is.
There's not anything I really want to share, and my future with you consists of fun nights out with my girlfriends.
Oh my God, I know. I was
By the
just
way,
like,
as soon as she opened her mouth with that garbage, I was like,
someone needed to take the joust and just get her on out of here.
Well, when he tried to walk her out, she's like, don't touch me.
Oh my God.
Don't touch, don't hold my hand.
She was mad. But honestly, I liked that about Colton. I like that he was just like, you know what, this is clearly not here. I'm not gonna pretend.
I wonder if they give him a couple of those. You can boot some people whenever you want.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, so anyway, the group date rose goes to Nicole, your girl.
Sorry.
So then obviously there's this really dramatic moment where Chris Harrison walks in and he's like, there's not gonna be a cocktail party because instead there's a pool party.
And Colton won't have his shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. But that's when a bulk of the Kaylin Hannah B drama happens.
Yep.
Right.
I think inevitably neither are gonna go all the way.
No, I think both
because
go home at
of
some
this.
point.
So then we go to the rose ceremony.
Cross him out.
And okay, so we have to say goodbye to
Caitlin of the Sea.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
Okay. Then we have Bree. Oh, she was Australian. That really never played out.
Did that ever get played out?
No, on the live show, but no.
I was like, why didn't
Nina, who was more like, never saw ya.
Yeah.
And
Nina
Catherine,
later.
Which Catherine, she had her moment in episode 1 and then really not
clearly
even.
What did he say? Mention the dog on the way out. Have fun with
Lucy or whatever her name was. So they go to Singapore. We get a little tease that there's going to be a one-on-one with Kaylin, it seems like.
Right.
Yep.
And then more drama, more tears.
Yeah,
I live
like
for
it.
it. I love it. Obviously, that's why we do this every day. A big thanks to y'all for watching.
And tune in next week for a recap.
And comment below because at some point, one day soon, we're gonna read them and answer them.
Does anybody read them? Do y'all read them?
Oh, we read them. Oh, we actually read them.
They're good?
Yeah,
People
they're
like
good.
us? They really like us?